You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry, ChillyBoy Chilson, and this is another Game of Thrones reaction video. And as always, for these Game of Thrones reactions, I am joined by my co-host Tyler. Hey, Tyler.
Hello, great to be back talking some more Game of Thrones. We're getting closer to the end of season 7, I noticed. We're getting closer to the actual end, I suppose. The controversial end to the series, especially with where we've been leading the last couple episodes. I'm intrigued where we're going to go with this episode in particular.
Well, and to join us for one of the major episodes, I'd say, of season 7, we have a special guest, a friend, and a fellow host over on the Cinema New World podcast. She was my co-host for our House of the Dragon recaps throughout season 1, and we are fellow Targaryens. So, hi, welcome, Mad.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited you were able to join us. You just got back from a big convention, so I know your schedule has been quite busy. But let us know your history with Game of Thrones
Oh my
and
gosh.
when you
Yeah.
watched it, the whole ordeal.
Yeah. So I was not allowed to watch Game of Thrones when it started airing, because I had really strict parents who watched Game of Thrones, so they knew everything, and they were like, so it was my secret show. I had my friends would let me watch their downloaded iTunes episodes on like a little iPhone, like a shitty iPhone from back in the day.
Wow.
And I would secretly watch Game of Thrones, and it was my little like, ooh, I'm so rebellious. I'm watching a TV show as like a high schooler. Um, but I loved it so, so much. And when I was finally allowed to watch it, I did a first time watch, but I rewatched the entire show in like a week span leading up to I think season 4 or 5, and literally finished the last episode of the season before, like 15 minutes before the new episode aired, and I watched it with my family, and then the rest of Game of Thrones every Sunday was like a family ordeal. It was very fun, so it like means a lot to me. I haven't watched this season since it aired. So this final season, I've tried to block it out of my memory as much as I could, but I've read the books and started reading the House of the Dragon book, but I forget the name
Fire and
already. So
Blood.
Fire and Blood. So I look like a fake fan. But no, I love Game of Thrones, and I'm so excited to talk about it on here today.
So have you rewatched season 7 before?
No,
Oh no, so you
no,
haven't not even before season 8. You didn't do a quick season 7 rewatch
no,
in
no.
that year
Season
gap.
8. Season 8 was a hard no. Season 7, I just haven't. I started feeling like this was going down a path I could not follow, Anakin.
Well, I
And
know that feeling.
and I started getting scared during season 7, and then season 8 just makes me nauseous, but season 7 was when I started being nervous. So
Right.
I know that feeling all too well,
yep.
sadly.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
watched up to season 6 though, like so many times at this point, but yeah.
Yeah. So, just for your reference, obviously, you know that I have seen it. Tyler has not. So, this is his first time watching through the series all together.
Oh my
So,
god.
he is experiencing season 7 for its first time. Speaking
God.
of, it's his plan that we're going to be starting today. I guess that's a good time to do our recap of episode 5, East Watch. So we see the fallout of the big loot train battle. Jamie is alive. Bronn, Olympic swam him in all his armor with his metal hand across this big lake to the other side, and he's now still alive. But Daenerys has taken the Lannister army that survived the battle, kind of wrangled them all up, at least the ones that didn't swim across the lake or escape in some fashion, and gives them a choice to join her army or die. And Tyrion is a little bit shooketh by this, but Drogon certainly helps plead her case to these folks with a nice bellowing roar that causes most all of the folks to be like, you know what? Yes, actually, I'll bend the knee, except for Randall Tarley, who starts spouting off a lot of racism, a lot of xenophobia, telling her that she can't send him to the wall. She can't do anything to him because he doesn't recognize her as the queen. So she says, okay, well, fine. I mean, you just heard what the choices were, and you won't even listen to reason. So looks like execution is here. Dickon, his little son from Umbrella Academy, decides to hop on up and say, yeah, I'm going to go down with my dad. Tyrion tries to convince him otherwise, but he won't. Even his dad slightly tries to convince him otherwise, but he decides, no, I'd rather end my house right here and now. So the Tarleys are executed by Daenerys, and the rest of the Lannister army that was trying to hold out bends the knee and joins her and her quest for the throne. Sparks conversation between Varys and Tyrion about Daenerys and this kind of iron fist ruling they seem to be under the impression she is enforcing currently. But not before they get a letter from the north, and John finds out Arya is in fact alive and at Winterfell. So he is now alerted that 3 of his siblings still live, when not so long ago, John pretty much kind of thought they were all dead and gone, and it was just him in the world. So in all of this, we then see Jaime return to Cersei and basically tell her, I saw what one dragon can do. We have no chance to win this war. She has 3 of them. We can't even take down the Dothraki girl. But Cersei is in her ultimate delusion era right now and is like, no, we're good. We good. We going down one way or another, I guess. So we're going to go down fighting. But then Jaime drops the bomb on her that it was Olenna Tyrell who confessed to killing Joffrey. In which Cersei is obviously enraged that she didn't get to like flog her and hang her and drag her through the streets like she had initially hoped to do. Meanwhile, Dora arrives and Daenerys re-arrives back at Dragonstone, in which Jon decides to take it upon himself to pet a dragon. So he approaches Drogon. No, Drogon accepts Jon's hand, not in marriage, but just on
I
the
mean, that
snout.
would work too, I guess.
Oh my god.
So they have a nice little speech as well where John's like, "Ooh, I don't know how I feel about what you just did," and she counters with, "I'm sorry, how many people have you killed in the wars that you have fought over the years?" And it's like, "Oh well, no. Oh, shit, that's right, John. Be quiet, please. Thank you." And we see some tensions rising between Arya and Sansa. Sansa is listening to the people of Winterfell, and Arya does not like what they have to say and does not like Sansa's reaction to what they have to say. So she confronts her about it and says that she should be taking people's heads off that talk bad against Jon, and kind of accuses her of wanting to take the power away from Jon as she takes over their parents' bedroom. But then she also decides, I don't trust this Littlefinger either. So she starts following him around the castle and finds some mysterious scroll that he's requested. But Littlefinger is not so easily tricked. And he soon figures out that someone is following him and turns the tables and realizes what Arya has done. So we'll see what the fallout is from this little match of spies between Arya and Littlefinger right now.
I guess. I figured since Arya is supposed to be like this master assassin, she'd be a little bit better at sneaking around, you know?
You know, Littlefinger, he knows.
I don't know if it's because I'm sick or not, but I had completely forgotten every single one of those plot points that any of them happened. Like, and I know I have like cold brain because I can't remember like names of anything or anything like that right now, but every single plot point you just said was a surprise for me.
What?
So maybe I need
Yeah.
to rewatch this season
It's
again
a fun
because it's been a
time.
while.
But the episode wasn't quite done yet. A lot of stuff, it was a build-up episode, but a lot actually happened in episode 5. We have to convince Cersei of this plan. And while they're over in King's Landing, Gendry is alive. We see
Yeah.
Gendry for the first time since season 3, working as a blacksmith in King's Landing.
Yeah, we bring him back just to send him off on the mission.
So Tyrion decides that the best way to convince Cersei to put everything on hold and fight the threat to the north that Jon Snow is so adamant about is to fly north and snatch up a white or white walker and bring it down to a meeting with his sister. But Jon is like, I'll go because I'm the only one who's actually seen them. Jorah, even though he literally just walked through the door, is like, my queen, I will go for you beyond the wall. Gendry, as soon as Davos tells him of the plan, is like, bet, I'm out. I'll go beyond the wall. And Davos is like, what the fuck? Like, listen, no. Like, what are you people doing? Poor Davos. All episode 5 was just like giving advice to people, and they were just like, not listening and walking
That's
right past
just
him.
his life in general, though.
That's
I mean,
true.
he's used to it. He's used
Yeah.
to it. But they make this plan and they have to go convince Jaime to set up this meeting with Cersei because obviously Cersei would not agree to it on her own. So Bronn tricks Jaime to come meet with Tyrion because after Tyrion killed their father, Jaime vowed to chop him in half the next time he saw him. Thankfully, he only had a wooden sword and couldn't kill Tyrion on the spot. And instead listens to Tyrion and does, in fact, try to convince Cersei. But as we said earlier, she's in her ultimate delusion era. And instead of listening to anything, it's like, so what are we going to do about Bronn? He like defied you and tricked you into this meeting with a father killer, huh? Oh, and by the way, I'm pregnant, so don't ever do that again and make sure to listen to me. Thanks, Jaime.
I think that haircut was like seeping into her brain and just making her make horrible decisions.
It's the haircut. The haircut is the delusion.
Yeah.
It's the source of the delusion.
The Karen cut like was making her extra Karen-y, you know?
Yeah. And we end off the episode with our little Suicide Squad leaving Dragonstone.
What I call them, Game of Thrones Suicide Squad.
And they sail north to Winterfell and meet up with the remainder of their squad. Once again, Tormund is kind of like, what's really going on? Like, what? Before he shows them the new people, he's like, wait a minute, though. How about the big woman? Is she coming with us? No, she's not around right now. She's not about that life right now. And he's like, all right, well, we captured some folks who were already going beyond the wall, so let's take a look. And it is the Brotherhood without banners. We have Thoros of Myr and Beric Dondarrion, also with their new bestie, the Hound, all locked in a jail cell. It's a fun reunion. Lots of people. Gendry was like, no, I don't trust these folks. They tried to feed me to the Red Woman and get me killed.
Very valid.
Then Tormund finds out Jorah is a Mormont, and they have their little beef between that. It's a whole ordeal. But in the end, they get past it. Jon is like, look, we're all breathing and living, so we're all on the same side. Let's go. And we end episode 5 with the wall opening and our loving Suicide Squad heading out to hunt down these White Walkers.
Which is absolutely absurd. Like, just that idea alone is just baffling to me. That it got that was the one and only idea that they just ran with. There was no other plans they could have thought of before agreeing to this.
Yeah.
And like, as I looked at it more, I was thinking like, especially because they were bringing back all of these people to add to the body count for this mission beyond the wall. I was thinking like, can we bring some other people back? Like what's Dario doing? Can we bring him back? Is it because he doesn't like the cold? Like what are we doing here?
Too cold up there for him. All right. Well, episode 6 is titled Beyond the Wall. So let's get into it.
Oh, look at this ragtag group.
You all right? Ever been north
I think
before?
I'm cold.
Never seen snow before. There's not a living woman within 100 miles of here. We have to make do with what we've got.
Okay.
Her.
Uh-oh. Watch yourself, Gendry. He has
He's a
needs.
strong fighter. People don't come up here looking for the dead.
I agree.
Tormund is talking sense.
Met this dragon queen.
Yeah, finally, someone's like, "Hey, this idea is kind of ridiculous."
She'll only fight for some. How many of his people died for his pride?
I love Tormund's weapon.
Sold me to a witch, a priestess. I'll admit it is a subtle distinction.
The Wicked Witch of the West, bro.
Wars cost money.
Yeah, like how could you not be mad at someone?
Yeah.
Brotherhood, but you sold me off. She strapped me down on the bed. She stripped me naked.
Sounds all right so far.
And put leeches on me.
Was she naked too?
She needed your blood.
Your lips are moving and you're complaining about something. That's whinging.
Poor Gendry. He should have just stayed where he was.
Again, just like, why did I come up here again? Just getting roasted left and right.
Yeah, freezing his asshole,
The first time I went north of the wall,
marching potentially to his doom.
He was a good man. He was good all the way through. And he died on the executioner's block.
R.I.P.
Father wanted to execute me, you know. It's been in your family for centuries. It's not right for me to have it.
Oh, come on, you're gonna give him the cool sword? Boo.
He gave it to you. I'm not his son.
I trust the sword with Jon more than Jorah.
But imagine finding out your dad just gave the family sword to some random fucking guy. Like,
He didn't like you that much, I guess. He had to give it to somebody.
It's yours. It'd serve you well.
What an honorable Jorah.
Your children after you.
Probably don't remember you were inside knitting all the time.
shit.
One time the boys were shooting arrows with Sir Roderick. I was doing what I was meant to be doing and he knew it. Now he's dead.
Wow.
Killed by the Lannisters. With your help.
Oh, oh, oh.
Took a turn.
God, I love Arya so much.
Rob, I write to you today with heavy heart. Our good King Robert is dead. Your faithful sister Sansa.
They forced me to do it.
Did they?
Mm-mm.
With a
Arya's really
thousand
pulling up
foes.
with the receipts right in
Right,
her face.
right.
Like, is this you?
Oldest sissy in history.
So was I.
Yeah.
Let them kill me before I betrayed my family.
They told me it was the only way to save father.
And you were stupid enough to believe them. I remember you standing on that platform with Joffrey and Cersei when they dragged father to the block. I was there, standing in the crowd near Baelor's statue.
And what did you do? Did you come running to the rescue?
Didn't betray our entire family for my beloved Joffrey.
You should be on your knees thanking me. We're standing in Winterfell again because of me.
Oh,
You didn't win it back. John didn't win it back. He lost the Battle of the Bastards. I suffered things you can never imagine.
Oh, I don't know about that. I can imagine quite a lot.
You never would have survived what I survived.
I guess we'll never know.
We're just having a trauma battle, aren't we? Like,
yeah. This is the definition of trauma Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, they both had some very messed up stuff happen to them.
Where did you find it?
What would little Lyanna Mormont say? She's younger than you were when you wrote this.
Yeah, bring her
I'm going
back,
to say that
actually.
I was just a
Right.
child.
You're angry. Sometimes anger makes people do unfortunate things.
Sometimes fear makes them do unfortunate things.
Oh,
Mm-mm-mm.
I'll go with anger.
Oh, shit.
she ate that. Oh,
All right. Mic drop moment, I guess.
Well,
Great
this
talk.
Stark reunion hasn't gone quite as anticipated so far.
that's a typical family reunion. That's valid.
Feel bad for whoever the folks are in the back that are carrying all that, like, extra
Oh
stuff
my god, yeah.
in their pack.
Dog, what they call the dog.
Fuck off.
They told me you were mean. Were you born mean or you just said wild things?
I don't give two shits about wildlings. Gingers I hate.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Kissed by fire. Just like you.
Don't point your fucking finger at me.
Man.
I ship them.
You want to suck my dick, is that it? Cock.
Ah, dick. I like it.
Bet you do.
No,
Okay.
what's it for me? I have a beauty waiting for me back in Winterfell. Yellow hair.
No, not Brienne.
Tallest woman you've ever seen. Almost as tall as you.
Uh-oh.
Brienne of Tarth.
This is gonna be awkward.
You're with Brienne of fucking Tarth. Wants to carve you up and eat your liver.
You do know her.
You've met.
I want to make
Yeah, you see what happened was a couple seasons ago.
big monsters.
You almost killed me.
Conquer the world.
I guess this is like a really fun small talk mission,
Yeah.
as they march towards their death. May as well crack as many jokes as possible, right?
Of course I did. Thoros has brought me back 6 times.
Resurrection
We
twins.
both serve the same lord.
In their Jesus era, am I right?
Yeah.
The Lord of Light never spoke to me.
Do you know what I like about you?
Nothing.
I honestly
Nothing anymore.
You're not a hero.
God.
Well, not Daenerys opening a compliment with a roast session.
charged with locating King's Landing.
I don't want you to be a hero. Jon Snow's not in love with me.
Oh, my mistake. I suppose he
Yeah,
stares
denial,
at
I
me
guess.
only because he's hopeful for a successful military alliance.
He's too little for me.
Oh!
I didn't mean.
Oh, Daenerys there. Oh, hold up.
I know you're brave. From everything you've told me about her, she'd rather murder me than speak with me.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Yeah.
First she'd torture you in some horrible way, then she'd murder you.
Which war was won without deceit and mass murder?
Yes, you'll need to be ruthless if you're going to win the throne. You need to inspire a degree of fear, but fear is all Cersei has. I promised him I'd keep you from doing anything impulsive.
I mean, Tyrion, but this bedrock literally was like built on the backup that you literally
This will
said
be a
we could just burn
difficult
King's Landing to the ground if Cersei tried
We're
something.
sitting down with people who want to see us both headless.
Now that's
I
bad, I
say
guess.
something concerning the Tarleys, for instance.
That was not impulsive. That was necessary.
And, I mean, they kind of chose their fate.
Perhaps.
Perhaps the
Also,
father
they
needed to
suck.
die, not the
They
son.
deserved it.
Perhaps they both needed time to contemplate their mistakes in the solitude of a cold cell. I want you to do very much, because I believe in
Which
you
we haven't been doing all
and the
season
world you
long.
want to build.
It just seems kind of bizarre given the fact that his sister blew up the Sept of Baelor
Probably not in a single life.
and everybody
Right.
just moved on.
How do we ensure your vision endures? The Night's Watch has one method. The Ironborn, for all their many flaws, have another.
We will discuss the succession after I wear the crown. Is this one of the items you discussed with your brother in King's Landing?
I'm trying
Huh?
to serve you by planning for the long.
Perhaps if you
Tyrion's just
talked,
continuing to
we would
dig
know
that
the
hole
truth.
deeper, I guess. See? I mean, you messing
We
up.
will discuss the succession after I wear the crown.
Oh my God, they mentioned Succession, guys.
Oh,
Is it
Tyrion.
an unreasonable request? Like, homie, can we put our brains toward winning the crown first? Because we're not quite there yet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean they're not even like in the lead as far as winning right now because of him too.
Like, first we got to deal with grabbing one of these things, and then we got to get the
Oh.
throne, and then we can talk about succession of the crown. Thank you.
This storm is vicious. I'm sure they're regretting going out there right now.
Now, sir, why are you so far ahead?
Is he far enough ahead so he can be like killed accidentally?
A bear.
That's a weird looking bear. Doesn't look like no bear to me. Don't just stand there. Oh, see, I knew it. So he was the red shirt of the group.
Oh, not the red shit.
Uh-oh. Ooh. Yeah, you probably should have looked the sword first.
I mean, that is pretty badass. I got to give Derek that.
Ooh. I mean, they better act a little bit faster. This zombie bear is taking people out. Ooh.
That's a cocaine bear right there.
Yeah, zombie cocaine bear.
Oh shit. The hound still be freezing up in the face of fire.
Ooh. Ooh. I don't know who that is. It's not looking good.
What was that decision? Like it worked, but
So hypothetically, could we let him die and then have him turn into a walker, and then we can just leave this mission?
Barrick is like, fuck. That means I can die now.
They see that, they respect you.
God, I just so wish someone just kill him already.
I know, right?
Then they named him their king, and now they're ready to turn their backs on him again.
Perhaps Lady Brienne could help.
Seriously.
She's sworn to protect both of Catelyn Stark's girls.
Why we gotta bring Brienne into the middle of all this mess?
It's gonna have Brienne and Arya fight or something.
I just want her to be happy.
Why is this man that's still like able to walk with them?
Yeah, after he got mauled by a zombie bear. Oh. Because that's what I'm curious about. Like, what's the procedure for capturing one? Is it like a rope? Is it like a cage?
Pokeball.
That's what I mean. Like, you're going out here catching them like it's a Pokemon.
It's what every person with blue eyes looks like to me.
Surprise! All right, so let's make sure that we don't kill all of them. Gotta capture one. Now why is everybody having these hand-to-hand sword battles and he's out here getting choked to death?
Well, all right.
All right, now let's capture him, guys. No, so that's the method. How we're
Put
just
him in
gonna
a bag, yeah.
bully him, and put him in a circle. Well, that sounds like a horrible idea. See, that's stupid.
It's like in It Chapter 2 where they like circle Pennywise and just yell insults at
Insult him
That's how
until
they
he
have
gets
to
small.
get it.
Okay, well,
Well, here comes the backup. So
I was gonna say that was surprisingly a little too easy. Might wanna hurry up a little bit over there.
I just remembered what episode this was.
Not putting a bag over his head.
Fastest. Go now.
Is he the fastest? Have we established Gendry is like this Olympic sprinter before?
Look at his little run.
He's like, I am speed.
you know.
Larry, is this the episode I think it is?
Yes.
Oh crap.
Ooh,
Oh.
I know, John, you look pretty fast right now.
Now the ice starts breaking. Well, R.I.P. to whoever the hell that guy was. Damn. Well, now you're just stuck there. You played yourself.
Can you imagine how lungs would just be on fire?
Oh,
like
God.
full sprinting in this deep freeze temperature?
It's almost like this plan was doomed from the very beginning.
Hey, Jory, you should have just stayed your ass over in Essos 2 where it's warm.
He's still running. Oh, never mind.
Well,
This is how you go, I guess. Jesus Christ, how fast is this man?
He's a runner. He's a track star.
How are you? You're telling me he ran all the way back? It seemed like they were like journeying like all damn day.
Where are the others?
In the couple days, it seemed like it took them a couple days to get to where they were.
Get the maester.
Okay,
Seemed
well,
like less than a
Hound,
day.
what are we doing?
Let's just provoke it, I guess.
He's like, let's just bully it some more.
Yeah.
It's raw.
Well, yeah, he's gonna go out. He's gonna go out a bully. Yeah, that guy is dead. So,
So don't die again, Barrick, or you're gone too. You ain't got nobody to bring your ass back anymore.
I would also maybe want to consider tying him up, given the fact that you're surrounded by an army of people that are also undead.
Unless the Lord of Light is kind enough to send us a bit of fire.
His sword literally, I was just, like, you idiot.
Oh.
His sword literally engulfs in flames.
You've seen it with your own eyes, Tormund, just yesterday with the bear.
The Lord I've ever met's been a cunt. That's why the Lord of Light should be any different.
I'm just thinking, like, how long is that going to take? They've already been up there freezing to death on this rock, and then they got to, like, Hope, Gendry, got there, sent a Raven to Daenerys. Raven has to fly to Daenerys. Daenerys has to read the message. Daenerys has to come to save them.
The ravens just teleport where they gotta go. They just boom. They are where they gotta be.
I'm just like,
My lady, you are the
time.
Lady of Winterfell.
How much time does this take?
You will represent my interests at this gathering as you see them. I will not set foot in King's Landing while Cersei Lannister is queen. If they want
I don't
another
blame her
Stark
there.
prisoner, they can come.
Yeah, at this point.
Till then, I'll remain where I belong.
I'm not worried about me. It's not safe leaving you with Littlefinger.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think, yeah, screw me. It's about you, fool.
And you trust their loyalty, Jovi.
I don't know why anyone would ever trust Littlefinger with anything.
I know.
Like, has he ever really been shown to be trustworthy by anyone at this point?
The trip to King's Landing is long, Lady Brienne, and you won't be traveling on summer roads. The sooner you leave, the better your chances of making it on time.
Excuse you, ma'am. No. We don't talk to Brienne like this.
Nothing
Well,
but respect for
Like,
Brienne.
hold on, Sansa. Getting a little big for those britches. Talking to
Sansa's-
Brienne like this.
Sansa's been a little rough this episode.
She just has an attitude every season, every episode. I'm sorry, like I'm not. This is not commentary on Sansa. Don't come for me. She has an attitude. Like,
oh, my baby.
Dragons.
oh, I can't do.
I guess the Raven got to her already.
Can't break the wheel if you're dead.
So why
They
did you have
they
me?
literally are like about to die out there, Tyrion.
Sometimes nothing is the hardest thing to do.
You told me to do nothing before and I listened to you. I'm not doing nothing again.
Yeah! Ignore Tyrion! Do it!
All right, Daenerys, she's got her northern cold coat dress on, and she is headed out.
With all three? Damn.
Oh, shit, all three. Tyrion really said, fuck all them people that listen to me and my plan. Let them die.
Yeah, it was your
Let 'em
plan.
die.
And like if they don't succeed, your plan still fails. So it's kind of a catch-22 there. All right, I guess let's just throw shit at them while we're at it.
Oh,
Sir.
God damn.
Dumb cunt.
How rude. All right, let me just throw some more stuff because I'm bored.
Oh, Hound.
Why did it? Wait, did they not know that they couldn't walk across it? So that's why they've been standing there the whole time, and he just fucked that up.
Their brains are dead, yeah. They're like, oh, hey, we can start going again.
Oh God.
You dumbass.
You idiot.
Jordan's like, what the fuck?
All right.
Look at this one. He is walking with attitude, too. He is sauntering
Right,
to that
he's, like,
rug.
sweating.
He
He's
is
ready.
ready.
He wants
Mama.
revenge.
Yeah, he's pissed. He's like, bitch, you took my mouth? Okay.
Well, good job. Hopefully Daenerys gets here in time because you had to be stupid. Flaming sword,
That's
activate.
such a lightsaber.
I was gonna say
like-
that's like legitimately a lightsaber or Power Ranger.
Oh my
what-
god.
I was like, that's my flaming sword activate.
So cool.
Yeah, you go, Hound, because
Ooh.
you're the one who caused this mess.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, wouldn't that be the better
That's good.
idea? Just to break
Do
all
it
the
all
ice?
around. Keep going, Hound. Keep smashing the
Yeah.
You're not-
ice.
There's too many people. You're not gonna win this battle.
He's like, all right, this is my time to escape.
How are they holding off all these people? There's like thousands of them. Why are they not just overwhelming them on the rock? The plot armor is strong here. No!
No, no, no. Oh,
Flaming sword attack. That guy's the zombies flying on fire behind him.
oh, they tried to get their friend. Who is that?
That's not looking good for whoever that is.
Red shirt number 3.
Another random person is down. Sorry. Plot armor only applies to the people that actually are important, I suppose.
Where, John? Where are we falling back to? We're on
Fall
a rock.
On the
Fall
back,
back to the-
literally.
Literally on your back, I suppose. Oh, man, no, 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 no.
Not looking
No,
good.
no, 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 no.
Come on. Somebody save this man. He's important. How is... Ooh. Oh god, not out of the water. That's rude. So nobody's gonna help him? There we go. Yay, they're friends now. This battle's insane, but I don't know how they're all alive still.
Oh my god.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Well, bye, other guy.
John,
Okay.
it's not time for contemplation right now, John.
It is. It's time for him to just look pretty.
It's not time for sad face, John. Please.
Looks like you might die again.
Oh.
Oh! Oh! Daenerys has come to save the day
Again. Oh,
with
and the
3
music.
dragons.
The music. Shit.
Oh, yeah!
That's right, bitches. We have dragons.
Now find the Night King and end all of this. Woo! I love it. But now, why did they just do this in the first place?
I'm nauseous.
These dragons are probably like, this shit is cold. Hold up. We are
All right.
reptile by nature.
Your Uber is here, John.
John,
Like,
John, don't nobody give a fuck about that white.
Uh-oh.
John.
Not the ice javelin. You idiot.
John.
Now he wants to be a hero.
What? Everybody is on the dragon, John. Except for you.
You're wasting people's time. No, don't throw it at the dragon. Oh. That aim is crazy. How the hell did he hit him? Ugh.
I hate this show so much.
That was just a one-shot death, huh? Well, at least you have 2 more, right?
Those are her children. They're her
I know.
babies.
I know. But, well, at least you have 2. Now get the hell out of there. Before he throws another one.
John. Bitch. That is your cue to run to the dragon and get on.
Okay, we're just gonna have this
This
stare
is
down
not
with the
the
Night King.
time to look at him. Look, John.
Bitch, he's reloading.
He's reloading. I'm gonna be sick.
You didn't think that through, I guess.
This is when I started turning against him.
Oh, and he gets tackled out of nowhere.
Daenerys, he made his bed. I'm sorry. You gotta fly, girl. I mean,
He's gonna throw
I know
another
you
one.
don't want to, girl, but look. Okay. Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Run,
I'm
Drogon!
flying. Pivot.
Finn!
Do a barrel roll.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh. That's how we lose them.
See, I mean,
After everything.
doing the barrel rolls, these people ain't ready for that shit. Shit, I do love that Rhaegal, though, saw his brother go down and just said, peace the fuck out. Like, he didn't wait.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to hear nothing. He just flew away. He was like, oh, no.
Oh, okay. Yay. Oh, he has to be miserable right now. Like being
That
wet,
water,
cold, exhausted.
I mean,
Oh,
it's over for you, John. Hypothermia is setting in as we speak. Your
So,
lungs, your heart is all collapsing as we watch.
oh shit, they realize he crawled back out of that.
John, why did
Couldn't
you
have
get up?
waited.
Why
You
couldn't you
dumbass.
wait until they were just a little bit further, John?
he has no brain.
Well, it's been real, John. What the hell? Who the hell is this Ghost Rider looking dude on a horse? What the frick is Benjen doing here?
I forgot about that.
Vengeance saving the Stark children one at a time.
Come with me. There's no time.
What?
He really
That
just
makes
came
no
in to save.
sense. It pisses me off so
He
much.
really ran in here out of nowhere to save the day and then
Get
sacrifice
on the
himself.
fucking horse. Like,
Okay, Benjen. It was real.
that's such a. I'm sorry.
Very convenient, I suppose.
You know, thank you for saving Bran. Thank you for saving John, Benjen. At least John knew he lived. He had literally been looking for him since he joined the Night's Watch.
But imagine, like,
I mean,
that's how
Hello,
you find out, and then
goodbye.
boom, he's gone. Like,
Talk about convenience. R.I.P. though. Even though he was already like kind of half dead anyway.
We'll meet again, Clegane.
oh,
Fucking hope not.
Yeah, no thanks. After what we after what we just
then don't
endured.
talk to me, bitch.
oh God.
Hmm.
Dragons in mourning.
It's never a good thing when dragons die. It's always sad.
John is like unkillable at this point in the show.
Somehow Jon Snow has returned.
Somehow Jon Snow has-
I just love that she had just said that she loves that Tyrion's not a hero, and then Jon gets her baby killed because he has to be the hero. It just,
There was no figure of speech, Daenerys. There's your answer. Shit.
oh shit.
What you doing, girl?
Mm-mm-mm.
Not Sansa sneaking now. She straight up said, bitch, you got dirt on me. I'm gonna find some on you.
oh my God.
This savagery. Not a face.
Girl, that's a real skin, ma'am, that you just put your hand all up in.
She's acting pretty calm for pulling out a bag of
Ooh.
faces.
Hey, Walder.
It's Walder face. Walder face.
Not what you're looking for.
I see you found my face collection.
Hundreds of men here at Winterfell, all loyal to me.
They're not here now.
Yeah, like what's
Oh.
that got to do with us right now?
What are these?
Their faces.
What do they
bitch.
What do they look like? I mean,
Where did you get them?
I could even become you.
uh-oh. Watch your face, Sansa.
I wonder what it would feel like to wear those pretty dresses, to be the Lady of Winterfell.
I'd probably be crapping my pants right now.
Yeah, right?
Is your face.
All right, good talk.
Oh shit, Thunder.
The tears in her eyes. She's like,
I miss when Arya put on other people's faces. She hasn't done that in a while.
Wow.
He lives again.
I'm sorry.
My bad.
I'm so sorry.
I miss how they used to make me feel so much.
I wish I could take it back.
The dragons are my children. They're the only children I'll ever have. We are going to destroy the Night King and his army.
Yeah.
We'll do it together. You have my word.
All right, there you go, John. She's a
I
great.
was.
How about my queen? Bend the knee.
Yes.
They swore allegiance to you.
They'll all come to see you for what you are.
Okay, I'll rewatch the season. You got me. I'll do it.
I hope I deserve it.
Now kiss.
Yeah, right.
That's what we're leading towards, it seems. So John does not have a great track record with women.
Neither. They both have
They-
a
they
killed
both,
lover.
yeah.
Men. Somewhere out there in the world, Dario's heart is breaking. Not the chains. What the hell? How the hell they get these chains? They're in like the middle of the.
That
the
pisses
lizard.
me off. No.
Are they gonna bring out the dragon? No, does his zombie powers apply to everything that's alive and dead?
Well, there was a bear.
That's true. I just figured dragons were off the table. Guess they never thought about the possibility that he could just resurrect a dragon.
I don't think it crossed literally anyone's mind.
I wish
And the
it
fact that he has
hadn't
these
crossed
chains.
anyone's mind.
They're gonna have an evil dragon.
Hmm.
An actual evil dragon this time. How are they gonna explain this to Cersei? So you see,
God.
what happened was we had 3 dragons and 1 died, and then he brought it back to life, and now they have a dragon. And Cersei, you still have 0 dragons, so maybe we need
All of
form
your
an
opponents
alliance.
have dragons, but you, Cersei.
Maybe that could be working to their benefit then.
It's a bit poetic that the dragon named after her abusive, terrible brother is the one that dies and gets turned to evil. R.I.P. Viserion. We loved you more than the man you were named after, for sure.
Right.
But here's my little stickers for the episode today. I couldn't show Tyler beforehand because the dragon.
The way that
blue eyes.
The way that sticker looks, he looks like Godzilla.
Well, that was Beyond the Wall. Well, we start the episode off just with the banter we were all hoping for. Look, Tyler and I discussed at the end of last episode. The plan sounded kind of stupid, but this ragtag team is full of a lot of fun personalities and a lot of people we like. So, at least that will be fun. And they certainly laid on all of the banter and the fun talk. And, we get these great conversations. So, how did you feel about at least the opening, just the fun adventure leading up to them actually finding the Whites and White Walkers, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean, I still think the mission itself was pretty ludicrous, but because these personalities of most of these characters are so enjoyable, at least there was some fun at the fact that they are marching towards their potential doom. So at least we're going to have some fun banter before we get to that, because some of these characters haven't interacted ever before, or if they have interacted with each other, it's been many seasons in between. So if potentially this is the last time we ever have these characters interact with each other, at least that was a good time.
How'd you feel about that fun little opening part of the adventure here in this episode, Mads?
I forgot how fun it was. They're all like characters that bring so much comedy to the show. But again, they're usually like the one character in a situation that can make a joke. So to see them all together just riffing off of each other is so funny. And the plan's insane, but it's Game of Thrones, so like all the plans are insane. And I kind of forgot just how much I love the show, like in the later seasons. And that opening part was like, oh wow, like this show's so good.
The dialogue comes first, and we get character, like when we get to actually spend time with the characters. It's
Yeah.
like when the show has always shined, and that still
Yeah.
rings true when they feel like themselves, at least. Then we bounce down to good old Dragonstone, where Tyrion and Daenerys, they're just kind of hanging out by themselves, but they have a discussion about John having feelings for Daenerys, and either she's willfully ignorant to the fact or she genuinely doesn't know. Lets on a little smile when Tyrion says it. So, but then they move past that into more discussions about the throne and how they're going to get the throne, and a little bit of this idea. Tyrion talks about how he promised Jaime that he would prevent Daenerys from doing anything rash and impulsive, and she has a tendency toward anger. And she's like, I don't agree. And he's like, well, what about the Tarleys? And she's like, no, I don't agree there either. What I don't understand is Tyrion, who stood there. I get maybe advocating for Dickon, sure. Let him advocate for Dickon, but for him to be like, oh, well, let them sit in a cell and like cool their minds. Randall literally was like, you can't send me to the wall. You can't throw me in jail. You can't do anything with me because you're not my queen. Tyrion. Like, he literally said the words when you were trying to like come up with plans. He was like, no. You don't get to do none of that because I don't bow to you.
Chose death. It's fine.
He simply chose death. And Dickon was an idiot enough to go with him.
That was the dumber part of the situation. He's like, I'll go die with him. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't even want maybe to like live and get revenge for your father, like get to kill Daenerys because she killed your father. Like, no, you'll just die now too. Okay. But this leads down a discussion of Tyrion just kind of out of the blue, I'd say, bringing up her succession. We're still far away from the throne. Like, we're still talking about Cersei probably going to try to kill us when we have this meeting for her. Tyrion admits, he's like, yeah, she'll probably is thinking about how she can kill you at this meeting, Daenerys. But so, in case she does, who you going to have succeed you? Because you can't have kids. And Daenerys doesn't take too kindly to this idea and this discussion. And it's like, listen, homeboy, I think you've been thinking about my death a little bit too much. Okay, sir. How about you stop thinking about my death and start thinking about the future? And then maybe we won't lose Dorne and the Iron Islands again, sir. Maybe that's what you should have been thinking about this season.
Yeah.
Tyrion's kind of shook and really doesn't have a response. And she's like, that's why I thought we'll talk about the succession after I win the throne. Goodbye. So, now, how'd you feel about the discussion between Tyrion and Daenerys?
It is so much more painful to think about, like, her really having to explain, like, these are my babies, these are the only children I'll have. In the same episode where she loses one of her children, it is super gut-wrenching. Like, I understand that Tyrion's job is to always be looking at the next step. They're doing one plan, so he needs to be prepared for the next plan, and I understand that he's just trying to help, he's just trying to do her job, but I also think that Daenerys is right in saying, like, look, we have to focus on getting me there before we worry about what I'm going to do, who's going to replace me, because she's not there yet. So I get it. I get where he's coming from, but she was right to kind of like put him in his place in that moment.
Yeah, Tyler, how did you feel about their little discussion of succession?
Yeah, I pretty much feel the exact same way about the conversation. It's as someone who's a huge fan of Tyrion, it has been a rough go at it with this season and his escapades, I guess to put it, in one roundabout kind of way between all of the terrible plans he's made, and then him not coming across in the best way in this conversation with Daenerys. And now he's, like we were saying, you're talking about my potential death and my succession already. We haven't even won the war. puts an interesting spin, a new light on maybe Daenerys, and as far as listening to him, because obviously we saw later on she just chose to not listen to him finally, and she saved everyone. Well, not everyone, but all the important people.
I do think it's interesting too, because it's something that Tyler has definitely brought up several times. There's dating back actually to like the end of season 6 and certainly through season 7. Tyrion explicitly brings up in this discussion how Cersei only rules on fear and Joffrey and them only ruled on fear, but doesn't go the extra step. Like he says that and isn't like, so what we should be doing is what you've been good at doing your entire arc, Daenerys, and we should be championing the people because they fear Cersei. And that's been like Tyler has brought up several times of how these people should hate Cersei, and why are we not getting to see the people like angry and fearful of Cersei after she blew up the fucking Vatican of Westeros?
Yeah.
I really just feel like that whole entire event was kind of just brushed off in the world of Game of Thrones. It's like they're just like, all right, this is it, I guess.
The people's princess died. Their Princess Diana, Marjorie Tyrell,
and she was killed by the new queen. So
exploded.
Sometimes the people of King's Landing, I'm like, you guys, y'all piss me off. I can't.
I couldn't live there. I mean, just in the 7 seasons of this show alone, it's just been a madhouse in that area.
That was an interesting point for me because I had forgot that Tyrion even kind of brought that up, and I was like, oh, I mean, we're hinting at the right thing here, but why has no one even thought like, Daenerys, why don't you try to do what you've been doing for the last 6 seasons? Giving great speeches to the little folks who are getting trampled and inspiring them to upend their tyrannical ruler, literally what your MO has been. But no, I guess Tyrion's not thinking like that as her hand.
I feel like we barely ever see Cersei do anything though, as queen.
She drinks wine.
What has she done? Like what?
Lots of wine.
And tortures people.
Talks to Qyburn and tortures people.
Yeah.
I've not seen her really.
You can't forget the torturing people. That's been a major thing this season.
Other than that, any other person that's been in that position in the show, we've seen them do things.
Well, then we go up to Winterfell, where this plot has taken quite the turn. Arya tells this lovely story about her father, and kind of just showcases what we saw with Ned in season 1, where he wasn't outright yes, go be a knight, Arya. He still had those old school views, but also morphed them into being really supportive of Arya, getting her the water dancing coach. But then it ends with her being and then he was executed with the help of you, Sansa. Look at this little scroll I got, ma'am.
Hold out the receipts.
Hold out the literal receipts. Sansa was shook, clearly. And Arya kind of backs her into a corner. I particularly love that little line about little Lyanna Mormont, because she's like, oh, you're going to tell little Lyanna Mormont I was just a girl, even though she's younger than you were at that time? Oh, okay. They have a little bit of a trauma dump off. They go back and forth on who had more trauma since season 1. And it's look, ladies, you're both very strong in very different ways. You both experienced very different types of trauma. And I don't know if either one of you would have survived in the other one's situations. It would have been terrible for both of you, and you both may not have made it to season 7. It doesn't stop there, because Sansa then goes and talks to one of her advisors, known as Littlefinger, who starts putting ideas back into her head about the people of the North and them, maybe we can overthrow Jon because they want to follow you anyway, girl. So Sansa takes that as sending Brienne to this meeting with Cersei. Brienne is now traveling once more. I feel like Brienne has done a lot of just traveling in the past few seasons as well.
Well, that one season, she was literally just camped out looking at a candle or whatever.
Now on her way to King's Landing, after Sansa very rudely dismissed her when she was speaking sense to Sansa, and was like, no, I don't trust you with Littlefinger around. She's like, I'm not a child. Get going, girl. It's about to get cold. You don't want to be late. Like, oh, okay. And then finally, Sansa decides to do a little bit of investigative work of her own and sneaks into Arya's room and uncovers her faces in her bag.
Her bag of faces, yeah.
And she's just not very good at sneaking because Arya's like, yo, girl, yeah, that's right. You see those. I wasn't trying to hide them. And Arya gives a nice aggressive threat to Sansa. That's basically like, girl, I could even be you if I want. All I gotta do is swipe that face right from your shoulders. Just remember that. Okay? I'll even let you hold the knife, girl, because I'm not scared. How'd you feel about everything in Winterfell this episode?
It's definitely wild having just every conversation really between the two of them. I mean, they've never been like, I mean, in recent seasons especially, they've not really had a lot of, commonalities. So it is always awkward having them learn more about their, I guess, what they've been up to in the meantime. Arya's training and it's kind of made her this like grizzled veteran that's not afraid of anything. And Sansa, I think Sansa just doesn't know what to do, about Arya, because Arya is like this very ominous, scary person. Sansa's not been like a great character by any means. Like there have been developments here and there over the course of the seasons, but I don't know. I'm not really like too fond of where we're taking her character at this point, with like, talking with Littlefinger in private and like listening to Littlefinger for some reason after all of the seasons of his shadiness in general. I'm not really sure what the end game is for this though, because that's like the part that I guess I'll remain to be seen. Like I don't know what is this leading towards exactly, with this conflict between the two of them potentially. It just seems kind of odd to throw in with everything going on.
All right, Mads, how did you feel about the Winterfell plotline this episode?
Oh my God. Okay, so number one, I fully agree that neither of them would survive in the other's shoes, and I think that's super important for all their conflicts, is that like they're both super strong in like their own way, and they survived things that the other couldn't. I know that Sansa is a super strong character. She's a girl boss. I just don't fuck with her. Like I feel like if I knew her in person, like we would beef. We wouldn't like each other. Um, I love Arya. So when they have a conflict, there's a clear winner on who I agree with more. I think that like Arya has every right to still be angry about what she saw happen to Ned, and she was like I have rewatched the first few seasons like many, many times, and Ned and Arya just have this closeness and like understanding of one another that I feel like he doesn't have so much with the other children, even though they're all very close and like he loves all of them. But especially like Sansa was such a bitch to Ned. Like she sucked. I know she probably regrets it so much. Like she loved her dad. I'm not saying she didn't love her dad, but she was like a bratty teenager towards him up until his death, because she just wanted to be part of like the royal family. And Arya watched her sister treat her dad, who was like her number one supporter, poorly, watched her betray him, and then has now found evidence of this. And like she has every right to be angry. Um, on the other hand, I understand that Sansa, like, she did what she had to do to survive, and they all did what they had to do to survive. But Arya's like, she's so valid for being this upset. I thought the faces part was awesome. I love how scared Sansa was. I keep switching how I say her name. I love how terrified she looked. She had like tears welling up, and Sophie Turner is a fantastic actress. And I feel like she did a really good job like portraying trying to be strong, but like being so terrified of your little sister at the same time. Um,
And she's kind of
but
been scared of her ever since she came back to Winterfell.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the way she's been watching her run around there, she's kind of been like, oh, what is going on?
I think that the whole plot with like Littlefinger really getting under her skin and kind of like puppeteering her is so interesting, considering like Littlefinger's been so creepy towards her since they first met, and like why is she listening to him? But I think that she's been grasping for power since she was a young teen, wanting to be with Joffrey, and he is someone that kind of enables that like behavior from her, and she's just kind of going for whoever will give her like reassurance that she's doing the right thing, even if she's not. So it's very interesting, very important to the plot. But God, I just don't like. I love Sophie Turner so much. I think Sansa's so pretty. I just don't like fuck with her as a person.
And we do know, obviously, us, the audience, knows that Cersei basically did threaten Sansa into
She
writing
did.
that letter. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Cersei threatened Sansa to do it, and she thought it was her only way. But Arya also did literally charge the stage. Like, so when Sansa was like, "Did you try to save Dad?" I mean, she literally was running through the crowd to jump up on the stage and do whatever her little human self could do, and then she got grabbed. But
there really wasn't too much she could have done in that situation anyway.
She probably would have just got herself killed too. I think, like she said, I would have let them kill me before I betrayed our father.
Yeah.
And I think she meant it. She was ready to go down
No,
with
and
Dad.
she would have. And that point you made about like little Lyanna Mormont, she would have too. Like if that was like her in that situation.
Yeah.
Her and Arya are just like a lot tougher when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Then we get back to Beyond the Wall and we meet our first foe, and it is an undead polar bear beyond the wall that charges, takes out our first red shirt of the episode. These random people that if you weren't paying close attention, you didn't see the rest of them like off to the back. I guess I noticed more because I also have not rewatched season 7. I think I've rewatched it like twice. Like, so I've seen it a couple times, but I didn't really realize we could at least see those red shirts because at first I was kind of like, where did these other people come from? Like they kind of come in and out of the group, like they're there, and then you get shots where they're nowhere to be seen. But
they were carrying the lumber or whatever.
They were carrying all the bullshit behind them. Except this guy who, just full speed ahead, was way in front of the group, got killed.
That's why when he was like this random guy that was going ahead, it's like, oh, he's dead. I don't know what that object. I don't know what that thing is out there, but it's probably gonna kill him because he's out there alone in a blizzard.
But in the battle, Beric pulls out those swords, catches the bear on fire, which sends Hound spiraling once more. He catches that glimpse of fire and just literally freezes.
Yeah.
And Thorosimir saves his ass and ends up getting himself mauled before Jorah saves him. So, they give him a shot and just burn his body back close.
Yeah, they did that and he just ends up dying later anyway.
So at the very least, one day has passed because this happened at night. Like this was dark. And then they get back to light after they move past that and stumble across this, I don't know, scouting group, which isn't unheard of. We have seen White Walkers, specifically the leaders, the White Walkers, roam off on their own. They go off, and we've seen them in random places without any other ones or a little group of them. So there are little groups. They're like, oh shit, okay, so let's set a trap. Let's put the fire up and get them to come, and then we're gonna bum rush them. So that's what they do. They start fighting. Jorah is getting choked out by a damn white in the middle of this battle. Jon with his Valyrian steel, thankfully he still had Longclaw, kills the White Walker, and all but one of the rest of their group die.
Yeah, I guess the that one had special non-exploding abilities attached to his character.
I mean, I guess that one wasn't turned by the same White Walker. They grab him and take him, except he starts yelling and screaming, and here comes the rest of them. And here come the Night King with the 100,000s of the rest of them. They make it to this rock while everything goes, like the ice starts breaking around them, creates a little bit of a barrier because we kind of see that they can't swim, but they're stuck on a rock for this time. Meanwhile, during this second day, they send Gendry back because apparently he's the fastest runner.
Apparently, he did though. He somehow ran all the way back in like a day.
He did it less than a day, and he was at the wall. He collapses from exhaustion. Good on you, Gendry.
The only defense I feel like there is that they were already heading back because they caught the guy. They
Mhm.
like had the guy wrapped up, so it was like they're already turned around, but
It was
there's
clear
no
they're
defense for
closer.
it.
I think it's because they had so many of these wide shots showing these vast lands that they were traveling. Like it made it seem like they were so far away on this excursion, and then he just runs all the way back in like one one
And
day, I guess.
I know people they get mad when you point like trust me, there is a certain Game of Thrones fandom that gets mad when you point out these like timeline madness. And then they point to like House of the Dragon and they're like, "Oh, well, you didn't mind it there." Because House of the Dragon established in episode 1 that we were going to be jumping. Like
Yep.
the time
Yep.
wasn't going to be the same.
Yep.
Game of Thrones has established for at least a good 5 seasons we move slowly. We literally spend an entire season with characters just walking from one destination to another. Like Arya and the Hound spent an entire almost 2 seasons just walking around to get from one spot to another.
Yeah, I guess it's just the double whammy of Gendry running this fast and getting there so quickly, and then also the Raven note also being sent out and getting all the way to Dragonstone that quickly.
Davos, he injected that Raven with some steroids. He said, "Raven, we need you to fly like
Oh
no
god.
Raven in history has ever
So,
flown before."
so what's that like? Gendry goes back to Winterfell, then they get the note, and then the note has to get from Winterfell to Dragonstone, and then she has to fly from Dragonstone to them.
Yeah.
And find them.
Well,
And
that too.
find them.
See,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said with Gendry, it's also like the North is so humongous to pinpoint where you are to get back. For Daenerys to like find them immediately
I am somewhere.
in a
We're
place
somewhere in
she has
this area.
never been or doesn't know at all. You know what? We'll chalk it up to dragon instincts. The dragons could like sense the magic between them and the Night King drew them, kind of like Bran and his raven warging. Regardless, yes, Davos sends the raven off. It arrives at Dragonstone. See Daenerys in her White Queen digs this amazing coat, like one of my favorite outfits Daenerys wears in all of
Yeah,
Game of Thrones.
she just randomly has a winter outfit in the closet.
She said,
As
"I
she
know.
should.
Look, I'm going to cold places. I need an outfit. Whip it up."
I don't know
Get
how she
ready.
gets I don't know how she gets the clothes, but
Her seamstresses were working triple time to get her prepared for the North.
good
But
for
she
them.
comes out in this fierce coat, and Tyrion, as you kind of alluded to, is trying to convince her not to go, saying they knew the risks. They're like they have to get out of that on their own. I know it's hard to do nothing, but doing nothing is the right thing to do. And she gives him the line of, "You've told me to do nothing before, and I listened to you. I'm not doing nothing again." It's like,
Play.
I mean, where's the lie? I'm sorry, but where's the lie?
Yeah,
So
he got eaten up on that one.
I'm also going to chalk this up to she didn't know the threat. I did find it a little bit curious that all 3 dragons had to go. If this is a rescue mission, why couldn't Drogon be good enough? I don't know, but maybe it's because she was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm flying into. So let's gang head out.
All three at once. Yeah.
And also, I mean, in her mind, they're indestructible. Like she's faced little spears that have hurt him a little bit, but
Yeah.
her dragons are invincible up until this point for her. So there's not really a threat, I think, that she thinks could hurt her and her dragons. They fly north. So I guess just based on the snatching of the White Walker part up through Daenerys flying away, how'd you feel about that section, Mads?
I think that like the snatching the White Walker part is fun, even if none of it makes sense. Like, it is super fun to watch them in that battle scene. I think that Gendry running is hilarious, as I commented on multiple times while we were watching. I just think his little run is great. I think that in theory, Danny made the right choice However, since we know the outcome of that choice, I think she made the wrong choice. Um, but like if I were in her shoes, I would also do what she did, but also like Tyrion was kind of was right on that one. So
Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, it was wild. It was definitely interesting seeing how they tried to capture the walker. I was wondering how they were going to go about it, whether it was like a net or a rope or what. I guess they went rope and put a bag over its head. So very, very, very effective. But yeah, I'm glad that Daenerys basically finally realized that Tyrion's plans generally haven't been the best lately. So let's
yeah,
just go with our own plans for once and see it through. Of course, there were some setbacks in doing that. She lost a dragon, which does suck, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, she still came out on the right end, I feel, compared to if she had just let all of them die on that rock, I guess. That would have been pretty awkward. I still think the Gendry running all that way and getting the Raven and saving the day, definitely some, what do they call it, fast traveling, as you've called it before, Larry.
Yeah, like teleporting, fast travel.
yeah,
I'm just impressed because you got to think that's a lot of traveling and time, and they all just sat on that rock and almost froze to death. Well, some of them did freeze to death, I guess.
Yeah,
But
Thoros, R.I.P. to Thoros of Myr. We've known him for quite some time at this point. Not a main character by any means, but he's been around. He's been around the
yeah,
block.
they saved his life just for him to die like later on the rock.
And now, as the Hound so kindly reminded him, this is it, Beric. Your savior's gone. He ain't bringing you back anymore, homie. So don't die. Well, then it starts some interesting words and decisions by Jon Snow for a good part of this episode. He starts yelling at his folks to fall back. Where, I don't know. They're literally on a rock, and there's not really anywhere to fall back safely to, John, but okay.
Well, they would have been fine if freaking Hound had started
yeah,
throwing shit at him.
But of course, Tormund almost dies. All of our heroes are in like peril situations at one point or another. And it looks like John, he has his Battle of the Bastards moment again. They get the like stern look. He's holding a sword, getting ready to face the impossible task of these whites coming over the edge. And much like Battle of the Bastards, someone comes in to save him at that exact moment. And it's Daenerys and her dragons. Fire rains over their head in a pretty epic shot. I mean, look, if I'm gonna say one thing, the cinematography is gorgeous in this episode. This episode was beautiful. Daenerys and her dragon start raining fire and burning these MFers up. I mean, in fairness, before they had to get the hell out, they had to have taken out a good sizable chunk of that damn army. I mean, they burned a lot of them whites on that ice. Drogon lands, which obviously we have to do. It's a risky move ever to land the dragon in a big battlefield, but we got to get the folks onto the dragon and get them the F out. So somebody's got to come down, and the other two dragons don't have a rider. Mm-hmm. Well, everybody's getting on the dragon, even though he's the first person that Daenerys holds her hand out to is Jon Snow. Instead of taking her hand and seeing that, we're doing pretty good, he sees a white, off in the distance and decides, instead of hopping on, let me go ahead and kill this white real quick and start fighting him and moving further and further away from the dragon to kill random whites. Everybody's on the dragon, and Jon is just fighting away when the Night King pulls out a magical ice spear and takes his gold medal javelin skills to work out here.
That's what I mean. It was impressive.
No, he doesn't aim at the biggest dragon that's landed in front of him in Stagnant. They have main characters on them, I assume.
But the plot armor is strong in this section of the episode. God. I gotta say.
He said, "Nah, that's easy. I like a challenge, bitch. I'm here to show off today." So he takes aim at Viserion and gets a perfect hit, like right here, and it's very brutal for a death on a dragon. He combusts as he is struck, and we see him like slam into the ice. Oh, and then they decide to show the life like drain out of his eyes as he dies and slips into the water.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't. I guess I wasn't as traumatized by it because I watched the dragon at the end of House of the Dragon get ripped to shreds,
literally eaten, and yeah,
That's true. Yeah. This was our first
This was-
dragon.
this was our trauma because we were like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
No."
Yeah.
And we knew these little babies, even if they were like locked away for season or two,
Yeah.
the Viserion, he wasn't the main. If it was Drogon, then there would have been a lot of work. Like I would have been dead
Yeah.
on the ground because that's the dragon we got so close to. But
Yeah.
we knew him since he was a little baby, since we saw him hatch up out the eggs in episode 10 of the first season. And now he's dead. Daenerys is obviously distraught. Like I said, Rhaegal this is what I love is that they at least gave the dragons these kind of emotions. Rhaegal lets out this like scream and just flies away. He's
Never
like,
comes back.
traumatized and leaves, and we don't see Rhaegal for the rest of the episode. John sees the Night King going to grab another spear. He yells, "Run, run," as he continues to run towards the only reason he sees the Night King is because he decides to have a stare down and is like, "I'm gonna take him myself."
And be moody.
And be moody. And decides to keep fighting the Whites and the White Walkers and gets himself tackled into the water by the water.
Yeah, speared out of nowhere.
I do have to say though, this one's a really dumb criticism, but particularly after that dragon smashed into the ice, that whole thing probably should have been cracking hard and unstable. But we'll let that one pass.
There's definitely details where it's like, oh well, I guess it's very convenient that he just brought a couple javelins with him to throw at things.
Shit,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Just knew, I guess, that Daenerys was gonna come and he could throw it at something, or he was gonna throw it at Jon. I don't know.
Maybe he was ready for Bran this time. Maybe he was like, that little boy been effing around and coming around me too much. We gonna kill him today. Like that three-eyed raven's going down today.
He was hoping they were gonna throw Bran out there. They're gonna drag Bran out on the rock.
If I see your raven today, Bran, I got you. I got a surprise for that ass now.
Can you imagine if he threw that javelin at a raven?
I got the raven. Oh my God. But yeah, so Daenerys is like, shit, well, I don't want to leave Jon to just die and drown and freeze to death, but I don't want to die and make this whole mission for nothing and get a second one of my children, my favorite child, killed.
Yeah, you're right.
So she takes off. He throws the javelin, but this time they're at least a little bit ready for it. They do a little juke, and Jorah almost falls off the damn dragon. He's taking off for dear life.
I guess also because Drogon's been in a lot more like battle scenarios. He knows at least how to bob and weave a little bit more.
He's had actual javelins strike him and like hit him, so he's been able to like bloop, bloop, a little bit more than his brothers.
Meanwhile, Viserion, I mean, they had like that one little battle where they destroyed all the boats. that was like their one battle, really, I would say.
But not to worry, Jon pops up out the water, grabs Longclaw. Instead of laying there for a little bit, kind of like watching them walk away, he decides, I don't know why, to stand up and start walking around right by him. And they're like, oh, you're still here? Okay, then let's take care of you one more time. Bet, yeah. But thankfully, our guardian angel beyond the wall was just around the corner, Mr. Benjen.
So ridiculous. It's like Jon Snow has like the most ridiculous plot armor of any character in this third act of this episode.
It's a lot to save Jon in this episode. But Benjen is there. He comes to save Jon. He puts him on the horse, and we did see that cool like fire thing the last time we saw him. Awesome. I don't know why he says this. He says there's no time for him to come with Jon, so he just dies. He sacrifices himself so Jon can leave.
He literally is just there to keep Jon alive. That was the only reason for him coming into the scene was, okay, we need Jon Snow to get out of this alive somehow. Let's just have Benjen appear out of nowhere with the horse and send him on his way.
Oh, Jon gets back. Daenerys is like looking off in the distance. we see once again Drogon is like visibly upset and kind of just like flying in agony, in pain, emotional distress above the wall. And John arrives at the wall. He's still alive. He's about frozen, but still there, still
He
being.
lives through everything. It's crazy.
Maybe it's the Lord of the Light like put extra heat in his body when he brought him back. I don't know. Maybe that's what kept him from like dying in the freezing.
Gave him extra
What were you
plot
gonna say,
powers.
Oh, okay, good. But Daenerys is like, I needed to see it. I didn't really believe you still, John. I'm gonna be real. I still wasn't buying all that bullshit you were talking on Dragon. So at least I saw it from my own eyes, and he just killed one of my children. So we gonna kill this MFer, okay? You have my word. Now I'm on your side fully, John. And that's always an important note, is Daenerys agrees to help save the world before John bends the knee. Because then he says, okay, well, if I can call you Danny, maybe how about my queen? I'd bend the knee, but I'm kind of like on death's doorstep right now, so I can't really.
It's a figurative knee bending.
Yeah, it's a figurative knee. And she's like, oh, I hope I deserve it. And he's like, well, I think that they'll see you for what you are. Like I've seen you, and the hero you are, Daenerys. And then we go beyond the wall one more time, and they're
they got chains now. Giant, massive chains.
I remember
from somewhere.
When the episode aired, it was just like, little did we know there was a Home Depot beyond the wall.
Oh my god.
The Night King went shopping real quick.
Where did he get them from? They're like in the middle of nowhere.
If the Night King is nothing, he is resourceful out there in this freezing.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like, did he read like ahead in the script? Did he know that Daenerys was going to come with dragons, so he got spears to throw at the dragons, and then the chains on hand to drag the dragon out so he could have a dragon? Like, is he Bran? Did he read ahead?
He read the Reddit links, like.
Regardless, they have Viserion out of the water, and he's able to put all of his might into bringing the dragon back from the dead. So we leave the episode off with the Night King now having an undead dragon on his side. Great. Just what we wanted, right?
Well, he's gonna demolish some stuff with a dragon.
Yeah, we didn't think it was already like an impossible task to take down this huge army. They now have a dragon. So, Tyler, how did you feel about Daenerys saving the folks through the end of the episode?
Even though the fast traveling stuff was a bit goofy as far as like the time it took for all of this stuff to happen was kind of ridiculous. It was still great to see her swoop in and save the day. And get to have her big hero moment. I mean, I'm always going to enjoy these big action sequences, whether it's Daenerys on the dragon blowing up everybody, or Jon and the crew somehow surviving this endless onslaught of walkers coming at them. You had Beric Dondarrion with his epic, we joked about it in the episode, his epic lightsaber turning on moment with his flame sword. It was fun. I mean, it was fun overall. Like, I enjoyed it, although I still think it is kind of absurd that all of this could have been avoided if the Hound had just not thrown rocks at them. They could have just swooped in. They could have just chilled there for a while. Maybe Viserion would have lived if they had just not chucked some rocks at these things for fun. Yeah, like I was saying when we talked about it, when you were describing everything, the plot armor is ridiculously strong in this battle. There are thousands of these monsters coming at them, and they're all the characters that are important, all the important characters other than, of course, Thoros and Mir. Everyone else, fine, no mortal injuries. They just managed to survive long enough in this battle to get through, and Daenerys saves the day. But yeah, I'm glad that Daenerys got to have her hero moment. She's got this budding, I guess, romance with Jon Snow, which could be interesting to say the least. Glad that we're on the right track. Although I am nervous about the whole dragon situation, because the Night King was already pretty powerful with his regular zombie army. Now he's got a zombie dragon. God only knows what kind of havoc he'll wreak with a zombie dragon. Because he's gonna blow up stuff. I don't know. I mean, he could just go like fight, King's Landing now. I guess if he wanted to, just go blow up some stuff in King's Landing or the Wall. I don't know. What are big landmarks he could just use a dragon for?
Yeah.
Because he was like convulsing on the near death, probably kind of dehydrated from the cold. It really like pronounced John's like abs and like chest as they were like taking the clothes off. When
Yeah.
Daenerys was intently inspecting their work as they were helping
Mood.
John in that room.
Jon Snow has to be the luckiest character probably in the entire show, at least in this episode, between he somehow survived all that stuff, got tackled into the water, got out of the water, had Benjen come out of nowhere to give him a horse to have him ride back. R.I.P. Benjen.
And then he gets the girl, or is closer to getting the girl in the end.
I know Jorah's mad.
Jorah, don't look. Jorah, avert your eye.
He's the ultimate simp. He's back again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mads, how did you feel about the Daenerys arrival through the end of the episode?
That dragon death really got me fucked up, I'll be honest. The second I realized what episode we were watching, because I truly forgot, my stomach was sick. I was like, oh, I can't watch this. But cinematography is great.
Special effects were great.
Yeah, I love seeing Daenerys save the day. I love the boat scene. I love John and Dany. I shipped them since season 1. They didn't even know the other existed.
That's dedication.
Yeah, they were my crack ship. I was like, I just know that if they met, they'd be in love. And boom. Who was right? 14-year-old me was right. So I live for that moment when he like finally bends the knee with her. And
it's from a moment, I think what makes that moment special is because like obviously she had been like just kind of demanding it before, but he does it like she earned it. Like she showcases herself to him and why these people follow her to him, and literally saves these people she doesn't know. Like she doesn't know or doesn't really care about any of them, and comes and saves them other than Jorah.
No, I completely agree. And the reason I never go back and watch 7 and 8 is 8's bad, right? But season 7 is when I started feeling like Dany wasn't herself. And I feel like this episode has little moments where you can see like early Dany, and like how she jokes around with John and stuff like that. It feels a lot truer to her character than most of their other interactions in this season. She's grieving, but I appreciate that she's not just like outright blaming him, even though it's kind of his fault. Like she cares more about the greater good, which is like that she saw that the White Walkers exist and now she knows more than she's like putting her role first as like would be queen over her like personal feelings. So I think that's wonderful. I think I have to rewatch this season now, though. It's like I'm really in the mood for it now. It's just so good.
And that final revival, did it kill you the first time you saw it and kill you again?
I wept, and I'm not even joking. When I watched it the first time, there were like violent tears streaming down my face. From the death of the dragon to I was so sick. I was in the blue eye. Oh, super good and like interesting, but like God, I hate it so much on a personal level.
Well, Tyler, this is the section for you. Heading into the finale. Well, we'll do predictions for the season 7 finale. How are we going to end the season off? We've got the Night King resurrecting a dragon, John bending the knee to Daenerys, and that also includes now the North is bending the knee to Daenerys because their king just gave up his position to follow Daenerys. We have Tyrion kind of in a weird position where Daenerys is not listening to him this episode, as well as kind of another awkward discussion between them. It's been quite a few of those this season. Arya and Sansa seem like they want to kill each other.
They're beefing, yeah.
They are beefing, but we have a white, we have an undead to bring to Cersei for this meeting with her to show her that they actually exist in hopes that she will at least give us a truce until we take care of the threat to the north, and then we can settle the Daenerys battle between her and Cersei. Brienne is on her way down there. Littlefinger is still scheming, and then of course this episode we didn't even see Cersei and Jaime at all, so they're still doing their thing. So Tyler,
weird stuff.
what do you predict for the finale, the last episode of season 7?
Well, I feel like they're gonna go roll down there and be like, "Hey, here's our Walker Pokemon character. They're real. We need assistance to take down the armies of these." That's at least the easiest. That's like the easiest prediction I could really give is that now they have him. They may as well go march down there and be like, "Hey, here's the Walker. Let's work together. And if we don't, then we all die. I guess we'll all turn into Walkers in the end." Any other predictions I
Do you have
can
a
think of as
prediction on
far
how
as like?
Cersei will respond to such a presentation?
I don't feel like Cersei's gonna really care, but I mean, but I mean that's just I don't know what would signify her ever considering it as a possibility. You know, it's like she's never been like shown to have a lot of compassion or understanding for people. I don't know why that would all of a sudden shift because she saw a weird zombie character. Arya and Sansa, maybe they'll resolve their beef with one another. Seems like they're not on the best of terms right now. I imagine the people of the North are not all of them. I'm sure a good chunk of them are probably going to be a bit apprehensive on taking leadership from Daenerys Targaryen. Just because even I mean they don't even like Jon half the time. So
These are fickle bitches up north.
That's, I mean, they don't even like Jon half the time, and he's already their leader. So the fact they're going to get another leader, that's the other thing that's rough about Game of Thrones world. Is like it's just like this constant shift of people getting the leadership role. It's like there's almost never in the entire show has there really ever been like a consistent leader of a group. They always end up getting murdered, or usually murdered, like murdered of some kind, assassinated, killing themselves. There's being blown up. I mean, it's just a wild world to live in. Those ones I can think of. I mean, I hope that somebody just kills Littlefinger by now. I mean, the fact he's been alive for this long is ridiculous.
I said, don't let him survive till the end. I'm begging.
It's like the fact he's been alive this long is crazy to me. Harris is kind of getting up there as far as like getting nervous because the way him and Tyrion were talking about Dany a couple episodes back.
Yeah.
Has me worried about him and his little birds.
When you slither around, it's hard to cut your head off. So,
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Mads, who were your favorite and least favorite characters of this episode?
Sansa was my least favorite character. But like the Sansa Littlefinger duo was my least favorite character, not just Sansa on her own. My favorite was Dany because she will be even if she's not in it, like even if we never saw her once, like her presence, I would feel it. And Tormund. I love that little guy. A big guy, but
the little guy.
I love that.
This little giant man.
Everybody else was like debating on whether they shipped Brienne with Tormund. Meanwhile, Mads was shipping the Hound with Tormund.
I do, yeah, and I am a Braimy shipper. Unfortunately for everyone around
me. We were like, Tormund, leave her alone, sir. She has her eyes elsewhere.
I think that Tormund's crush on Brienne is the cutest thing in the world. I love it. I just I think that she has got her focus on Prince Charming from Shrek 2.
He's a feminist icon in Westeros. Yeah. It just is what it is. We love a feminist man.
Exactly.
Tormund was, showing some urges. He seems to be swing both ways.
He does. He's a bi king.
He made eyes at Gendry real quick. So he called Jon a pretty little crow quite often. So it is what it is. Oh, Yara's still somewhere out there.
That's true.
She's just with Euron. We haven't seen Yara since she got captured, so we don't really know what's going on with her. But
that's true. I forgot about the Greyjoys. I think the show did too, though. To be fair.
Including Euron. We haven't really seen any of the Greyjoys for a hot minute. We saw Theon almost get his ass beat by John, and that was about it.
Deserved.
So, but Tyler, who were your faves and least faves this episode?
Least faves, definitely Littlefinger. Sansa's probably unfortunately on the list after this episode, at least temporarily. The Night King. We could put the, we could
Oh
we
yeah.
could put the Night King on. I suppose he's a person, kind of. He's an entity of some kind.
Yes.
He killed a dragon. I have to hate him at this
Yeah.
point.
That's true.
Faves, Arya's great. Even though
Oh.
John and his like mountains of plot armor was pretty nice. Tormund, pretty much that entire crew was pretty great. Daenerys, of course, being the MVP that she is and saving the day. Benjen, R.I.P. I guess.
God.
They brought him back just to murder him, like save John. But he went out like a boss, I guess.
All right. Well, that was our reaction and discussion for season 7, episode 6, Beyond the Wall. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so that you make sure to check out our season 7 finale reaction. And then we get into probably the most talked about season of Game of Thrones there is. Season 8, the final season. Heads, thank you so much for joining us. We really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Where can people follow you and find you across the internet?
That's such a great question, and I'm fact checking.
Oh, okay.
I change my Twitter at all the time because I'm super annoying. You can find me on Twitter at Harleen Quinny because I'm annoying and I love DC. And you can find me on Instagram at movieswithmads_, and that's my on TikTok and Letterboxd and everything. And I also have a Batman podcast that's coming back soon for season 2, which is the Batshit podcast, and that's on anywhere that there are podcasts. So yeah.
Oh, perfect. And Tyler, it's a pleasure as always. Where can folks find you?
Yeah, before getting into that, I thought it was amusing. I didn't realize until you brought it up that the next episode is the finale for the season.
Yeah.
I'm just used to these seasons going for like 10 episodes, and then it's like, oh, 7. That's a weird number to end on. Like 7. Usually it's like an even number, not 7. But nevertheless, you can find me on YouTube if you just search up my name, Tyler Calvert, on there. Reviews, rankings, a bunch of other stuff on the channel, and on Twitter and Instagram, it's Tyler Calvert.
Perfect. And of course, we want to hear your thoughts. I know this is also maybe one of the most divisive episodes of season
Is it really?
7. I think people have, like us tonight, have a lot of conflicting opinions watching the episode. A lot of great stuff, a lot of confusing stuff. But I want to hear your thoughts on season 7, episode 6, Beyond the Wall. Leave those in the comment section down below, or you can hit all 3 of us up over on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.